Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the
Dog Pound Podcast.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex.
Wow, it doesn't matter who's talking first. The order does not change.
Yes, it is currently the month of January. Well, when you're listening to this, it'll probably be February. But welcome back, everyone. We were gone for a little bit.
But we're back and better than ever.
Back and better than ever. New and improved. We got our little Alex 2.0 software installed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time an Adobe update comes out, we follow.
We follow. It's a very niche audience listening who uses Adobe. This month, we're going to be talking a lot about just what the school year is going to look like, well, wrapping up around the end. Bit of stuff for seniors, bit of stuff for freshmen. Just talking more about logistical stuff this time around. Ain't that right?
Yes, it is. I'm going to get them started on some cool, fun facts for them to know.
Go ahead. Take it away, DeFore.
Okay. Hello, seniors. As high school is coming to an end, new chapters are beginning. and I'm going to give some reminders to some seniors. I don't know if you guys were paying attention, but now you got the Dog Pound Podcast to help you out. So February is a month that you want to get a lot of financial stuff done and figuring out. Usually you want to, it would be in the best case scenario, you get your college acceptances back at this month. However, if you haven't applied for college yet or haven't applied for all of them yet, this is the time to do it. Do not wait. It will only hurt you in the future. Also, the FAFSA, Alex, help me out here.
Federal student.
Nope, starts at FA. Federal application for student aid.
I think.
Maybe.
It matches the acronym.
If you type that, you'll figure out what we need. The FAFSA. The FAFSA application is for student aid. If you want to get Hope or Zell Miller, if you qualify, you need I think for Hope, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you need a unweighted GPA of 3.5. You can figure that out on your Georgia Futures account.
I think it's 3.0.
3.0. I think you're right.
Yeah, Zell is
3.7 is Zell.
That's a big difference.
That is a big difference, but I do think you're right. I think 3.0 is Hope.
Yeah,
so if you don't know what your unweighted GPA is, you can go sign into georgiafutures.com, create an account, and you can link that to your school, and it will give you everything you need, especially if you're a junior. Look at that now so you can pick classes for next year, see if you need to know our APs to boost yourself. Because remember, AP, even though it gives you 1 point extra on a weighted, it still gives you 0.5 extra GPA points on unweighted.
Yeah. And just if by chance you don't know, a unweighted GPA is just including your core classes, things like your English classes, your maths, your sciences, all those classes that you were required to take in high school, not accounting for electives and such.
Yeah, anything that would be considered an elective or usually pathway class are not included. Foreign language is.
Yes, foreign languages.
And was gym and health included? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Because
you're required to take it, so they'd be included, yes.
Yeah, anything you're required to take is in there. Definitely get those grades up and take any AP classes on things that you'd think you'd be able to get an A at, maybe boost it up a little bit, or I think a B, because it still counts toward an A. But yeah, anything to bring that up, please take that now.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit that I'm not the most well-planned in this, so I've been having to kind of scramble to plan, and I recommend not doing that. Just kind of setting yourself up now so that you don't have to worry in the future. I don't know if you partake in this. I don't really partake in it, but I know a lot of people do. It was New Year's a bit ago. It's been New Year's.
By the time we're recording that was only 6 days ago, so yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people like to do New Year's resolutions. And while they're abandoned a lot, we're not going to be,
we're not
going to lie to ourselves.
You can't ask me to just change myself and commit to that.
However,
that's hard.
They do help you set good goals for self-improvement. And what kind of reminded me of this is you'll even see it now. A lot of seniors are getting what's commonly known as senioritis. Senioritis. It's the disease that'll really get you. Just a lack of motivation, a desire to just go. And if you've completed all your classes and you're basically set, you're good to go, then it makes sense. But senior year still counts. These grades are still going towards your GPA, and if you drop the ball now, then that's rough.
That is. No, I definitely the senioritis is hitting hard. Just in the sense of there's been multiple people I've talked to today where we all had the collective experience of having to tell ourselves you have to get out of bed because it's the only option you have.
Yeah.
Because wow, for some reason, senior year semester 2, your bed feels great.
Yeah, it's like you've gotten into the groove for so long.
You've gotten into the cozy
zone.
zone.
I don't think I'm being hit too hard. I don't know about you, but
No, I mean I'm not for myself.
yeah.
Nah, I mean I would say overachieving for what I need to do. Would I call myself an overachiever? No.
Yeah, I wish I could hold myself to the same standards. I'm not. I've been hit with
You were hit with freshmanitis.
I was hit with freshmanitis every yearitis. So that's something you got to fix going into college, I'd assume.
I recently took up the most basic New Year's resolution you could, which is the whole work out more. But this is usually I do that, and usually I'm really good in the spring and summer when it comes to the physical activity. In the fall and winter, I'm like, it is cold. Do not bother me with this. I don't want this.
What is it? The seasonal depression or a seasonal affective disorder, I think is what they call it now.
Yeah, but the other night I was also trying to fix my sleep schedule. I was like, oh, I can knock this out 2 in 1. And I know some people are gonna listen and be like, this is not how you do that. But it was last weekend. I went to bed at 3 a.m. on that Saturday.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I gotta fix this sleep schedule, because I was like, I gotta wake up at like 6:50 tomorrow for school. And so I was like, here's the idea. I did 25 sit-ups, 10 push-ups, and then high knees jogging in place. Then I spun around 15 times.
Spun around?
And then I spun, because I worked out, and then I was like, oh, then I'll make myself dizzy. Then I spun around 15 times the other way, and then I laid with my head going to the floor to give myself a head rush, then immediately went up, and then you do not want to leave your bed after that. Did it help me sleep? No. However, I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to get up and do things.
That's funny.
That was my strategy. It's been cold, and it's just now starting to get warmer. We had, surprisingly, 2 snow days in a row of, like, winter weather alert, then it didn't snow. And then earlier we had a snow day just in this month. That was crazy. We've never had that much time off in the 13 years of me being in the schooling system. There was a lot of snow days, and I don't know about you guys, if you played in the snow. We were attacked. Central's honor was attacked.
What?
Me and my friend were saying, oh, it's a winter wonderland outside. We're going to go walking around, but it snowed. All right? And then we walked on the sidewalk, going on Triple Gap, and we see in the PAC parking lot something that says, like, West Forsyth in the snow. And we're like, what is this?
Did you defend us?
I did.
You retaliated?
I said West Forsyth is not as cool.
Is that really what you put?
Yes, because it's not as cool as Central. We had to defend our honor. What we're going to do is sit there and let them take over?
Listen, I feel like this is a good learning moment for anyone listening. He solved this very clear offense with no violence and was not even crude about it.
It didn't even confront them. Just written in the snow below it. Like,
I applaud this man. He's a great example to us all.
And I defended Central's name.
You defended their honor. Good job. What did I do on my snow day? I stayed inside. No, wait. I walked to Publix.
Did your hair get all frozen?
It did, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying it did.
It started raining, and then it froze.
I walked 4 miles from my house.
Yeah.
I walked to my friend's house, and it was raining on me, not snowing anymore. So I was just in the freezing temperatures, in the rain, with nowhere else to go but to walk.
Yeah, we went for our walks at around the same time. But it was on the ground for a while.
Yeah. I remember, if you guys remember, in the shadow of the stub, there was snow for a good week or ice, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't even snow. It was just ice.
It was funny because just that, like, where you see where the shadow ends when the sun was setting, that was like where the snow would not melt.
Yeah, and my neighbor has this great big house, and its front completely like creates this thing of shade. I can't remember what direction it's in. But the entire front for like week and a half was just snow. It was crazy.
I saw somewhere recently that still had snow, like incoming, and I was like, how?
No, it's been
Yeah, but it's been above freezing since it snowed.
not in the shadows, I guess.
In the shadows, it never warms up.
Shadows, it's never warm. But I'm kind of hoping it'll snow again, just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, with how hard it was to wake up this morning.
Yeah, and it's such a rare thing. This was the coldest winter in like 10 years or something.
It was pretty cold. And like with wind chills, I remember we were up in Dahlonega for a film shoot, and there was it was negative double digits with the wind chill.
That's rough.
That was insane. How did we do that? It was snowing on us when we did that.
Yeah, we were in the snow while we were doing that. We were all bundled up and had our crazy warm coats on because that high altitude, that gets you.
Oh, and then when we were in there, remember how the heater would just turn off randomly in the middle of the night?
Oh, in the middle of the night? Yeah, that was
You'd go to sleep in the mid-70s and then wake up in like the low 50s.
And what is it? I was already warm because we were all moving around and doing stuff, so I just went to sleep in my clothes, and I woke up and I was frigid.
I was miserable because I went in the shower one day in the cabin, and it was nice warm water. Then all of a sudden the hot water turned off, and it was ice.
And I'll tell you, what doesn't help for keeping your warmth is when your friends shove snow in your pants.
I was going to say it was a one-time occurrence. Sadly, it was a two-time
occurrence.
But it was funny.
Coming back to the more work-oriented side.
Someone doesn't want to talk about his snow pants anymore.
I don't want to talk about his snow pants. And getting into college, of course. There is a lot of SATs and ACT testing going on recently.
Yes.
We have both taken our respective tests. I took the SAT.
I took the ACT.
Yes. And, well, how was that like for you, DeFore?
Funny story. The first time I took it, I did the writing one too, which I don't know if everyone knows. There's an optional writing part. It usually suggested to do it your first time because most colleges look to see if you even did a writing portion. I think it's graded out of 12, and the other ones are graded out of 36.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do that. Usually just your first time. I think it costs extra. But mainly if you have a goal college to look at, and even your safety school, definitely see if they require writing, or that would help any scholarship opportunities. But the first time I took it, I got a 25 on it. And at the time, Zell Miller, which I had the core GPA for, required a 26 as your composite score.
That's rough.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I got to take it again. And then 2025 rolls around, and the new minimum is 25.
What'd you get the second time?
The second time I went in, I got into the classroom. I was with my friend. We got in two different classrooms, and I knew some girl there as well. We were in the same classroom, and I remember they got the Chromebooks out, and it was just waiting for a while. And I was like, when are we going to get this started? Because they had like an analog clock on there, and I'm one of the few left who can read one of those things.
Okay.
You're going to college, learn how to read an analog clock. But sorry, side tangent. I was looking at it, I was like, it's been like 40 minutes. And it was because we opened the Chromebooks, and getting onto like the little app they have for the ACT testing, it just like said like loading or something like that. It was like an error page or something.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
I forgot about this.
An hour in, they say, I got some good news and bad news. And they were like, and the teacher was like, or the advisor was talking to the kids beforehand. They're like, I have like soccer practice and whatnot. I got to make it to something like that. And they're like, good news is most of you guys are going to make practice. Bad news is the entire U.S. ACT has shut down today. And I was like, oh, okay. But I was only going there to improve my score because at that time I already knew that the 25 would be sufficient. And I'm not saying shoot for the lowest number. I'm just saying I made it. So my parents were like, you don't need to make it again. I did it. And I also got I got the bare minimum. Mind you, I had the bare minimum ACT score to get Zell Miller. I had the bare minimum GPA to get Zell Miller. And I got the bare minimum math score on my ACT to never take a math again in my college.
You're still making it.
I'm still making it.
You're still making it.
On paper, it looks like I could have gone overachieving. It looks like I could have got a 36 and there'd be no difference.
Yeah. In a completely unrelated sense, I would like to say that the entire time that I've been looking at DeFore, a little part that attaches his microphone to the stand kind of looks like an eye patch, and it's been covering one of his eyes. So I've kind of been pretending that he was a pirate this entire time. He's got a little eye patch on. Can you give me a good...
Arr.
Yeah, give me really lean into it.
I got the assignment.
Yarg. Yarg, matey.
Yarg, matey, tell me about the SAT.
Tell me about the SAT. Well, my SAT... I'm not going to do a pirate voice for this entire thing. My SAT
I would have supported it.
Oh, I love pirates. My SAT experience was really normal, honestly. A lot less.
But you didn't have a cool experience like me?
No, a lot less flavorful. I mean, I took it. It was it's normal. It's normal. The SAT is not too... The thing I will say about the SAT is while it is not fairly difficult, if you don't know it, you don't know it. So make sure that you're looking. Don't assume that your knowledge of things will be enough to carry you through. Like if you're really good with writing or math or English or anything, don't assume that your knowledge will be enough to carry you through it. Look at the actual prep work for it. Like actually ask people who have taken it. Actually look at the textbooks and stuff because it's a very curated test that you will need to know the knowledge for. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the difference between the ACT and the SAT. I know the ACT math-wise is more geometry and the SAT is more algebra. Mm-hmm. I think there's more science on the ACT.
Yeah.
And I think it's more writing and history on the SAT.
Yeah.
I believe.
That seems right.
Yeah. Also, the ACT is at 36 points. The SAT is at 1,600. What? You need 12. You need 1,200 to make Zell Miller. Yeah. Also, if you guys didn't know what Zell Miller is, I should probably explain that now.
Yeah. And just give a little.
I know Hope and Zell were supposed to be merging. I don't know if they have already.
They did. No.
Hope is supposed to be a core GPA 3.0, and I don't think any test is required. And it pays for half of public tuition in Georgia, I believe. Yeah. And then Zell is a core GPA of 3.7 with a 1,200 on your SAT or 25 composite on your ACT. No super scoring would get you all tuition paid of a public Georgia school. That's what it's supposed to be. Now, if you're like me and you want to go to a private Georgia school,
it gets real rougher.
Zell Miller and Hope can be matched depending on your college. There's like 10 or 20 colleges in Georgia that will match it. I know Savannah College of Art and Design will try to. I think they get like maybe $4,000 a year. However, I just learned about this, a equalization grant from Georgia that if you're going to a Georgia private school and you get Zell, I believe, you get, I think, a free $1,000 a year just from that. So definitely look into that because that was not something I ever heard about till just recently. It's a good deal, yeah. I mean, you have to go to a private school.
Yeah.
You are still paying more, but...
Yeah, but... Hey, DeFore.
Hey, Handline.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Oh, wait, I've heard this one before.
See, guys,
it sounds eerily familiar.
This is what it's like being in the studio with this dingus. He always messes up my jokes.
We're gonna have a new studio.
Yes,
next time
we are. Maybe the audio equipment will sound a bit crispier.
Ooh, like a nice Honeycrisp apple.
Yes, like that's what you thought of for crispy.
It has crisp in the name.
All right, everyone. This has been the Dog Pound Podcast for the month of January. We love you all. We're looking forward to, I don't know. We're looking forward to everything, man. I'm looking forward to a lot. I'm looking forward to getting down and groovy. I don't even know.
Is that your way for saying graduating?
I guess. Remember that time I danced?
Yes.
On the podcast and they could only hear the shuffles?
It was legendary.
It was amazing. Anyways.
The masses will talk about it for years.
We have been your hosts, Alex.
And Alex.
And
Alex. Who's the other one?
The other one?
Hi, I'm Alex. Hello.